Okay, so what you just saw there was the culmination of a couple of months of me staring at my monitor, wondering why my dog shit code won't work, and wondering how the fuck video games even get freaking made. I've wanted to make a movement game like this for so goddamn long, but I low-key suck at game development, so it took me just so long to get here, but holy moly, I'm finally here. I'm finally having fun making and playing the game, so here we go. Fuck it. Welcome to Tire Simulator Devlog 3. I have no idea how to start this video, so let's just jump in. So, boss. This game needs a boss. Currently, the hardest enemy is this dolphin submarine thing that fires these 500-kilogram Helldivers bombs at you that glitch you out of the map and have extremely unfair hitboxes. What? That hit me! But these guys are goddamn chump change for my OC, so we need something a little bit tougher. But wait, hold up. Wait, hold up. I mean, if you look closely, you notice that these buildings in the background here are just giant soulless gray cubes of utter nothingness, so first order of business, priority number one, before we add the boss, is to spend a goddamn week modeling a bunch of buildings and placing them in the city. Anyways, yeah, back to the boss. So yeah, currently this game is way too easy. It needs something that can actually like keep up with the player, because you're so goddamn fast. Also, I've been planning out this roadmap on how I want the events of the game to play out, and that also requires some bosses. There's going to be a bunch of bosses in the game, and those bosses are going to be pivotal to the central goal the player will have. I want these bosses to be more than just vehicles, since we've already got plenty of that in the game, so I decided to make them huge robots made of car parts. I know, quite original. The first of these bosses is going to be this big guy made of turbochargers, which if you don't know, turbochargers suck in air and shove it into engines to make them go faster, so I decided that he would have like air-based attacks, but before that, he needs to get modeled, UV unwrapped, textured, rigged, and animated. God damn, look at these animations. Aren't I just the best animator in the world? Doing all that took like, I don't really remember, like this much time or something like that. But yeah, after that, I got him imported into Unity, and oh my god, that's way too fast. Holy shit. I made sure not to make him Barry Allen and started giving him some proper attacks. He can leap into the air and slam onto the player, which does a bunch of damage and knockback. He can fire this huge air blast at the player, which is honestly so unfair. Like, I don't know why, but he always wants to do this stupid fucking attack when I'm right up next to him, which gives me like absolutely no time to avoid it. And it literally is just like a default Unity sphere. So yeah, this attack needs work. But anyways, he can also charge up this attack that desperately needs a telegraph that basically goes in all directions and pushes the player away. And finally, he can slam the ground and summon these giant nitrous oxide cans that shoot air at you and launch themselves at you once they run out of ammo. Yeah, he's honestly not too hard to kill. His weak spot is on his back here, and it's just these like nitrous cans, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with his current state. He obviously needs like a health bar, some better audio and visual cues, and definitely much better telegraphs, because yeah, he can sometimes just get these super cheap shots on you if he decides to pull something out of his ass in like 0.1 seconds, but I would say he's in a playable state right now. Now in this game, the main way you kill enemies is by dashing into their weak spots. Hitting weak spots refunds a dash, which lets you get these huge combos as long as you hit your shots. And in order to make aiming easier, you can hold right click to enter slow motion and make all weak spots glow red. And personally, I find the dashing mechanic very fun, but just because I find it fun doesn't mean other people will, so I want to juice it up to make it a lot more satisfying. And in order to juice it up a bit, I added some dashing VFX, some new dashing audio, I increased the max number of storable dashes from 2 to 3. Now, I already had a UI element showing how many dashes you had, but for some fucking reason, I put the original one in the bottom left part of the screen, about 50 astronomical units away from when the player is looking 99% of the time. So I just nuked that old UI element and replaced it with this new one that better reflects 3 dashes. I also made the camera punch when you get a kill. I added audio when you hit a weak spot. The pitch of this audio increases as you get more and more kills and resets if you don't kill shit quick enough. I'll probably add a real combo system in the game in the future, but this is fine for right now. And finally, after all that, I added some aim assist for players that just want a more casual and relaxed experience. These little yellow orbs are where the dashing logic is currently aiming, and yeah, it's basically aimbot. I'm probably going to play with this off since I like aiming and think it's rewarding, but it'll be a toggle for those who want it. Now that that's done, I need to improve another aspect of the game that has desperately needed fixation, which is the abilities. Shortly into the game, you unlock this ability that lets you slam into the ground and one-shot any enemy you crash into. But my dumbass decided to put this shit on a cooldown, which caused so many problems. Like A, you can just slam, run away, slam, and keep doing that to phase skip all the enemies and never get hit. B, there's going to be a lot of abilities in the game and I don't want people having to track a shitload of cooldowns, and C, chaining slams is actually super fun, but with a cooldown you just can't do that. One time I decided to set the slam cooldown to 0 seconds, and oh my god, it was fun, and I wanted a lighter version of this in the actual game. So how can we achieve this? We take the cooldown to the goddamn farm and shoot it with a 12 gauge and replace it with a meter that you can charge by getting kills. In order to use the slam, you need to charge this meter. You can slam by spending this resource. This literally solves every issue by 1, making it so you actually have to fight to get your abilities, 2, making adding new abilities easier, and 3, because the slam only costs 200 of this meter and the meter goes up to 1,000, you can spam the slam 5 times in a row if you fully charge the meter. So by replacing the cooldown with a meter, we've completely solved every problem the stupid-ass cooldown caused and instantly made the slamming way more fun. Once that was all in the game, it felt like we had a pretty good loop going, but there was just a few more things we needed to get done before the game was in a playtestable state. I'm not going to bore you with all the details, so here's just the rapid-fire version. 1. Added a tutorial and objective system so the player actually knows what the fuck to do. 2. Made it so that when you die, you have to pump yourself back up with a bike tire, giving the player an actual death. 3. Added a main menu where all my dumbass enemies chase an invisible, indestructible object that they think is the player. 4. Functioning difficulty system with a genuinely impossible final difficulty. And finally, a system for actually spawning enemies sequentially in waves so I don't have to keep manually placing them down in the game like a dumbass. Alright, so that's pretty much everything. There's some smaller stuff that's not interesting, so I'm not going to talk about it, but yeah, I'm going to keep working on this game. I want to put it on Steam eventually. If you want that to happen, just do all, the YouTube things, and you know how it goes. Anyways, yeah, thanks for watching, and bye.